A cocky cadet, Mark, sneers at Captain Lena Petrova. Just another showpiece for the cameras, probably never seen a real cockpit. Lena, poised in her flight suit, ignores him, her focus locked on the simulator screen. Captain Lena Petrova often sensed the unspoken doubts, the dismissive glances. Her presence in the elite Advanced Aerial Reconnaissance Unit made her an immediate target for skepticism. Today, as the high-stakes combat simulation began, the tension was thick. Cadet Mark, notorious for his arrogance, smirked. "Let's see the showpiece fly this," he muttered, loud enough to be heard. The virtual battlefield erupted. Mark's console flashed with errors. He cursed, wrestling with the controls. Other cadets struggled, their faces contorted with stress. Lena, however, moved with an almost unsettling calm. Her gloved hands glided over the complex interface, her eyes effortlessly tracking multiple data feeds. She didn't acknowledge the sneers or the knowing looks shared among her peers. Her focus was absolute, her breathing even. Every movement Lena made was precise, economical. She didn't just react to the simulated threats. She anticipated them, guiding her virtual aircraft through impossible maneuvers. While others became overwhelmed, Lena was already adapting, identifying vulnerabilities and relaying intricate coordinates to imaginary ground teams. Her performance wasn't flashy, but deeply effective. It was the quiet efficiency of someone who operated beyond the realm of panic. Her flight suit, though standard issue, had subtle, almost imperceptible wear marks, not from training, but from hours spent in real cockpits. Her composure wasn't forced, it was deeply ingrained, a testament to countless hours under pressure. From the observation room, Colonel David Thorne, the unit's seasoned commanding officer, watched Lena intently. He'd seen countless pilots, but Lena was different. Her silence wasn't born of fear, but of profound concentration. He noticed the way her fingers instinctively found the right controls, the micro adjustments in her posture, the subtle head tilts as she processed information. It wasn't just skill, it was a deeply ingrained instinct. A quiet hunch began to form in Thorne's mind. There was far more to Captain Petrova than these young, arrogant cadets could possibly imagine. He felt compelled to observe her more closely. Colonel Thorne's focus sharpened on Captain Petrova over the next few days. During tactical briefings, while other cadets debated complex theories loudly, Lena's interjections were always concise, cutting directly to the practical core of any problem. She'd anticipate instructor questions, offering solutions that seemed born from real-world contingencies, not textbook memorization. In a critical drone maintenance workshop, where cadets learned to spot equipment flaws, Lena identified a microscopic stress fracture on a propeller blade. The experienced chief mechanic almost missed it. "Barely visible," she calmly pointed out, "but that's where an entire drone fails under sustained load." The chief, taken aback, had to concede her point. Mark and his clique still scoffed, dismissing it as luck or obsessive attention to detail, clinging to their showpiece narrative. But Thorne saw a pattern that couldn't be dismissed. This wasn't luck. It was an almost uncanny awareness, a deep understanding of machinery and its limits, forged in experiences far beyond the training bay. Her movements around the heavy drones were efficient, economical, the motions of someone who'd handled such equipment countless times, possibly under extreme duress. He noticed her subconscious habits, the quick, assessing glances she gave to every piece of gear, the way she scanned her surroundings like someone constantly evaluating threats. It was an ingrained habit, the kind developed when stakes are genuinely life or death. The cadets' dismissive chatter about her being a quota fill or PR material grated on Thorne more with each passing day. He knew talent, and Captain Petrova possessed a quiet, profound capability that spoke volumes without a single boast. This wasn't about academic scores or meeting minimum requirements. It was about an intuitive grasp of her craft, a survival instinct that only truly forms in the crucible of real combat. Thorne felt an undeniable pull to uncover the full story. He decided to look beyond her basic service record, which, while impressive for any standard officer, didn't account for this level of ingrained mastery. He knew that elite military personnel often had specialized assignments or redacted files. He initiated the process to access her complete, unedited transfer packet, a bureaucratic hurdle few instructors ever bothered with. He had a powerful intuition. The answers to Lena's formidable competence lay hidden within those classified documents, waiting to reveal a truth that would shatter every skeptic's prejudice. Colonel Thorne sat in his office, the screen's glow illuminating his serious face. He had finally gained access to Captain Lena Petrova's full, classified military file. He scrolled, past the standard academy records and initial flight certifications, and his eyes stopped cold. The unit designation under her previous assignments, former unit, Task Force 17, Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, attached, Covert Aerial Reconnaissance Group. Thorne's breath hitched. Task Force 17 wasn't just a unit, it was a whispered legend, involved in the military's most sensitive off-the-books operations. This wasn't just a pilot, this was someone from the deepest shadows. He scrolled further, disbelief battling with a dawning awe. Total documented combat flight hours, 1,120. That number alone surpassed many veteran officers. Specialized operations, 78. Each operation vaguely listed, marked classified. Confirmed missions: Afghanistan, multiple deployments, 2012 to 2018, Syria, 2019, undisclosed locations, 2020-2022. The sheer volume and hidden nature of her deployments were staggering. Then came the decorations: Silver Star, for valor under fire, saving a ground team in Kunar Province. Distinguished Flying Cross, Bronze Star with V device, for heroism in direct combat. This was a war hero, not a mere showpiece. The Silver Star citation's details made Thorne's chest tighten. Under intense enemy fire, she piloted her unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, into a collapsing structure to provide critical overwatch, sacrificing the asset to pinpoint enemy positions and guide friendly forces to extraction, saving 32 lives. Thorne pushed back from his desk, a profound wave of shame washing over him for his own fleeting doubts. He thought of Cadet Mark and his casual, cruel remarks. Lena hadn't just flown. She had faced death, multiple times, in the most secretive, unacknowledged corners of the world. She didn't wear her awards, hadn't mentioned her JSOC background, hadn't boasted about a single mission. Her quiet competence on the simulator, the almost spiritual connection she had with the machines, it all made terrifying, awe-inspiring sense now. She didn't need to talk, because her record screamed a truth none of them could possibly fathom. Colonel Thorne knew exactly what he had to do. The record had to be set straight, not just for Lena, but for the integrity of his unit. Colonel Thorne assembled the entire advanced aerial reconnaissance class on the tarmac, an unusual sight for a regular training morning. Cadets stood rigidly, muttering, trying to guess the reason for the unscheduled briefing. Mark, ever confident, stood near the front, still certain of his perceived superiority over Lena, who remained quietly at the back of the formation, observing with her usual calm. Thorne walked to the front, his face unreadable. He looked at each cadet, his gaze briefly holding Mark's, then sweeping to Lena. His voice, seasoned by decades of command, cut through the quiet. Cadets, I often speak about the importance of respect in this unit. Respect for the equipment, for the mission, and most importantly, for each other. He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. Then, Thorne turned, his eyes locking onto Lena. He did something no one expected. He snapped to attention, brought his hand to his brow, and delivered a crisp, formal salute directly to Captain Lena Petrova. The entire flight line fell into an immediate, profound silence. Mark's confident smirk evaporated, replaced by utter bewilderment. Lena, visibly surprised, paused for a split second before returning the salute with a slight, almost imperceptible nod. Thorne then lowered his salute, his voice resonating with an unshakable authority. Captain Petrova, he announced, turning back to the stunned cadets, flew over 1,000 combat hours with Task Force 17. She holds a Silver Star, earned for sacrificing a classified asset and saving 32 lives under direct enemy fire in Kunar province. Do any of you, he challenged, his gaze sweeping across their shocked faces, understand what that means? Blank stares, open mouths, and faces draining of color were his only answer. Mark looked as if he'd been struck. It means, Thorne continued, his voice firm, that every single one of you owes her not just respect, but gratitude for her service, and a level of professional humility that is currently lacking in this unit. True strength isn't loud. It's demonstrated when it truly matters. The shift was immediate and palpable. All arrogance evaporated. Later that day, in the mess hall, Mark and several other cadets approached Lena's table, their swagger replaced by genuine humility. "Captain," Mark stammered, his eyes downcast. We were wrong. Is it true about Task Force 17? Lena looked at them, a ghost of a smile touching her lips. She didn't gloat or lecture. She simply said, "My job now is to help you become the best pilots you can be. Ask me about the flying." For more stories where quiet professionals prove their worth far beyond expectations, subscribe to Quiet Soldier Stories.